All right. Last topic for today. Now, this is an ever-evolving show.
Right.
So let us know what you think about it. We're trying to do something different than the Game Over Greggy show, which is each of us bring a topic. This is more just looking at the news and then trying to divide it up into 4 topics. What I want to try today is the last topic being a bunch of little tidbits of news. So we can
The
just talk
light
about
Timning round?
Light
Hodgepodge.
Tim?
Hodgepodge.
It's like
I'm
lightning,
trying.
but with
Yes,
my
I'm trying.
name. All right, I'll take it. So we're gonna start off with news that I really care about. You know what? Let's just call this
Disney.
section the news I care about. The news Tim cares about.
The Timning.
Yes. Kingdom
Timber.
Hearts 3 coming in 2015, according to Goofy.
No way.
There's no way in hell that game's coming out this year.
So that's the thing. We talked about this on the show 2 weeks ago when we were talking about the games we're excited for in 2015, and I named this game because they're pretending it's going to come out this year.
Oh, they're pretending good. They're doing a good pretend game here.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't think it's going to happen. But it's crazy that they would let this happen, where they'd somehow let a voice actor say this stuff.
That's the problem, is you can't rein voice actors in. You have so much going on with that game, let alone a language barrier, let alone Like, by the time you get out to these voice actors, I totally get that. It's like, who said what?
Yeah.
All right, they're not. What
am I allowed to say? What am I not allowed to say? Yeah.
And that's why, like, when we were talking to Troy yesterday on the Colin and Greg Live, and then the Game Over Greggy show, I would set questions was like, I don't know how much you can say on this, because I got to imagine for them it's incredibly hard to keep that straight.
Yeah.
And it's so easy when you're at an event for someone, you're promoting one game and someone feeds you a question about another game, and it's like, has that been I've asked questions before, and I'm like, no, they talked about this here, and I have to like cite my sources that I already know this exists. Like, oh, okay, then this is the answer,
Yeah, and going from the other side of it, we've been at IGN for so long, or we were at IGN for so long, that we get all this information. We know all this stuff. We talk about it day in and day out, and it's so familiar to us. And then someone else will be in the room, and we're talking about it as if everyone knows.
Right.
And it's like, oh, man. Or there'll be some other things where everyone just assumes that we know everything, even though we don't.
Yeah.
It's like, just because I work at IGN, I'm like, I do not know the inner workings of what media molecule is up to. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I mean, we know a lot of stuff, but yeah, it's hard for us to keep that kind of stuff straight for sure. And like, this is weird because Square might be playing an interesting game here where the game's ready, but it doesn't make any sense. Like, that this Square is notoriously slow, and Kingdom Hearts 3, there's just no way that game can come out this year. Like, it doesn't make any sense unless they've been making it in secret for 4 years. It doesn't make and they just have another team that no one knows about, like, making it. Then I guess it's possible. The thing is that because of the language barrier and just the culture of Japanese game developers, like, secrets are very well kept over there.
Mm-hmm.
But him saying stuff like, well, my voice acting is done, like, of course it is. It should have been done like 3 years ago. That's like the first thing you do. The writer writes the game and you record the voices. It's like when you
But they do come back for pickups a lot.
That's true, but like the game's written, the game is recorded like a cartoon, and then they animate and make the game. Like, and
just
just
like
like
pickups if they need to.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so it's like that's like if that's the reasoning, and I'm not necessarily saying that is the reasoning, but he does bring that up. Like, that's not strong reasoning. Like, the voices for The Last of Us were probably done. They did pickups, I'm sure, but I'm sure they recorded all the mocap and stuff literally 3 years before the game came out. It's not like it's not like that's like a monumental thing to cite to say, like, well, the game's coming out this year because my voices are done.
Yeah.
But he's also saying that that's what he's heard from other people, and that's I'm like. It's funny because the Square has set the stage for it by releasing, as we said, HD Remix 1.5 and 2.5 in sequence to kind of bring everyone up to date on 3. And it would be a little weird for 3 to not come out this year in the sense that the gap would be very big in that if they didn't release it. But, like, who the hell is making the game and where is it? Like, I don't understand that. With the way the teams for Final Fantasy 15 and Kingdom Hearts 3 seem to be mixed up.
Yeah.
And so one game has to come out first, and like they can work on both of them, and neither of them will come out. As we've seen with Versus. So, yeah. I don't know. It's weird. That's a weird story to me.
Yeah, that's my thing is I have a feeling that neither are coming out this year.
Oh, yeah, I don't think so either.
And they're just acting like both are, but...
I mean, are they, like, it's funny because, like, what do we think they're doing that say that, like, this, because this is kind of the way I've been interpreting it, too, when I've been talking to people. Like, what are they doing to act like they're coming out this year? Like, it's like, they've been so cagey about 15. Like, that game is so weird to me.
Yeah.
That game is so weird. It looks weird. It looks beautiful, but it looks like a weird game. Game's been in development forever. They have new people on it doing their thing. It's, it's on its way. But it's like, to me, they're just being I don't think Square Enix is being like acting like anything to me personally. I think they're just like being like they don't know.
Things we're doing stuff.
It's coming. 55%.
Here's a Final Fantasy 1310 if you wanted that.
Yeah.
But,
And everybody's like, no, we don't want that.
No, we don't want that. Stop, guys.
Yeah, I still think next year is 15 and 2017 is Kingdom Hearts, but
2017.
But
Man,
it's
I hate how accurate that might be.
But I could be wrong. I said I could be wrong. I'm wrong about a lot of stuff, and I hope I'm wrong because I know people are really eager for that game. People seem way more eager for Kingdom Hearts 3 than Final Fantasy 15.
Final Fantasy's worn out its welcome lately.
Oh,
putting out all these games and not the games people
Tell me
want.
about
it. Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts has been in limited supply, so people are still into it.
Yeah, super
Well,
limited.
no, it's the same thing with Kingdom Hearts. They're putting out all these games, and they're not the ones people want.
Yeah, but the core Kingdom Hearts games are the ones people want. Those 3DS or the DS games even are 365 over 2 days, whatever.
They're just trying to come up with as many different ways to not call it 3 as humanly possible. The thing with that is people keep getting on me about this. I'm not saying those are bad games. I know like so many people enjoy them, and the handful of them that I've played, I do like them. It's just I want the story to progress and it not just be like retreading similar ideas in the same worlds and stuff. Just to like, oh, this one's a dream, and this one's a card game, and it's like, okay, give me the new stuff.
Yeah, I think they finally got the message, but I think they got the message too late, and so that's why I don't think the game comes out this year. It would be incredible. It'd be incredible if a game of that scope, you assume, could be done this quickly by a team that is working on another game.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make any sense.
All right, next up, guys, Game Changer, Flappy Bird, coming to arcades.
To arcades.
To arcades.
Everything's coming up. I mean, have you been to Dave & Buster's? It's all iPhone games, Doodle
Exactly.
Jump, and all this crap on there.
And that's the weirdest thing is I remember back in the day, arcades were a big deal.
That was the
You'd go
experience.
there.
That was the marquee experience. It's like what I'm always talking about with the movies, right? They'll be around. It'll just be different experiences there.
Exactly. And it's, especially there was in the early 90s, arcades were huge. And then they kind of dipped off a bit. But then there was like a resurgence with the peripherals, with Dance Dance Revolution, Time Crisis, the skateboarding game. We actually sat on the skateboard.
Right.
Forgot what that was called. Top Skateboard or something like that. Anyways, like those are the games, like that was experiences you could not get at home.
Yeah.
So you had to go to these places and do these things. Because DDR, you could play on the stupid shitty mat. But like actually being there.
Stupid shitty mat.
On the real metal
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it was different. It was good. The boxing game before Wii and all that stuff.
Right.
Like, those were stuff that were worth the dollar, But now it's like, all right, those games that you play on your iPhone all day, you get to pay to play them here.
Right. On
Well,
this
I guess you
giant
pay
screen.
to play them on your phone too. But
Sure, but once usually.
Yeah.
And it's
So-
over.
the thing is, this all started from what I've seen with Guitar Hero. Like the moment I saw Guitar Hero in arcades, I was like, all right. I mean, Guitar Freaks, that's been in there. Like that was a staple in the late 90s,
Yeah.
and early 2000s.
But even I think Guitar Hero makes sense because there's a barrier to entry. You hear about Guitar Hero, you see somebody playing Guitar Hero, you're like, I'd love to try Guitar Hero. You can go out and do it there, right? But Flappy Bird's like the 99-cent investment you should have made when it was out.
Guitar Hero, when it got to arcades, it was Guitar Hero 3.
Yeah.
So it's like you played it.
You've played
by
it.
then.
You've played it by
yeah,
now.
like
All right.
so that was the beginning of the end. Well, arcades ended, but that was like just the sign of like, all right, this is not gonna go well for
the most
anybody.
interesting arcade game I've seen in years was the Star Wars Battle Pod we saw at New York Comic Con, where you got in and it's like that IMAX like kind of wraparound screen and there's air blown in your face, and like it was a very Japanese experience, because when I went to Japan and played some of their arcade games, it's like rumbling seats and air blown in your face, and it's like, oh, I couldn't get this experience at home or on my phone or whatever. But when you walk in, it's just one big button for Doodle Jump. You're like, what the hell am I doing?
Yeah, I think this kind of thing shows just the lack of viability of an arcade generally, that big publishers and developers have no interest, with the exception I guess Bandai Namco making that game, of making new arcade games. Arcades are even closing. Prominent arcades even in Japan are closing, and it's rare to see. There's great places that have old arcade games and stuff like that, but in other words, for places that still somehow are holding on, like Dave & Buster's, that's what they have to do. They're not going to get new games from any worthwhile publishers and developers, so they have to go into these weird directions that are easily recognizable by people on dates in their early 20s, and like, this is. But like, it's just another death throw of this industry,
But we were in LA and we went to a Dave & Buster's, and it was just like walking into a physical retail app store.
Yeah.
And it's just nuts. But the crazy thing about this is this game is literally one big red button.
Yeah.
And you just hit it.
Tap.
You get tickets for it, though.
Oh, cool.
So good on them.
Brian Albert should go and clean
Good on
up.
them.
He was good at Flappy Bird.
Yeah. Brian Albert was a little too good at Flappy Bird.
We called him Flappy Albert.
So we got two more quick things.
Okay.
One, GTA 5 PC version delayed to March 24th from January 27th.
Sort it out.
They say Our apologize for the slight shift in the date, but the game requires a few extra weeks of testing and polish to make it as good as it can be. Moving a release date is never a decision we take lightly and a choice we only make when we know it's in the best interest of the game and our fans. Thanks everyone for your understanding, and we assure you these few extra weeks will be worth it when the game does arrive in March. Good on them.
Yeah, of course.
Like, this is one of those things where it's like, yeah, this sucks, but
It's
guess
funny.
what? This game is going to last forever.
It's
for you
crazy.
guys.
And it's just weird that there's like when it happened for me, obviously I'm a console fanboy, so I was like, whatever. And like, big deal. Like, it's still not out. That's weird. And then like to see people flipping out, I'm like, are this many of the people who are flipping out on Twitter really going to play this? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I know that there's a huge PC mod community. Don't get me wrong. I am not saying that there aren't PC players, but I was seeing people I know who are heavily leaning console. People are like, oh my God. It's like, seems like you're just reacting.
It's the internet. Everyone has to be angry about everything all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's good. I agree with you. Like in our patch in our patch heavy world, it's nice to see that, and I'm sure they'll still have a patch, but it's nice to see that they're taking the extra time. And I can't imagine how tired that team is. But like, you know, just working on that game over and over again forever. But yeah, it's important that they get the PC port right because it's the one that's going to live the longest, and so for sure.
Right.
So it's really, really essential that they get it right with that, and I think they know that PC gamers are, I think, the hardest to please. That's nothing wrong with that, and that the mod community with Grand Theft Auto is going to be huge, and that the game must be polished. Nothing wrong with that at all. So just wait a few weeks. Well, who cares?
They released some screenshots of it too, and it's just like, oh man. This is pretty.
Yeah.
This is damn pretty. But yeah, so it's most important for the mods. And the people are going to be playing it for years because of that. Another story about mods, Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes got a first-person mod last week.
What was that noise?
And you just played the whole game in first person. And it just changes how the whole thing works and all that stuff. And I just love that. I love that. And that, you know, people were really into it. People liked it and enjoyed it a lot. Yeah. That's awesome that you can just take a game and completely change the perspective.
It's cool.
Does it break it like Twin Snakes?
Yes.
Yeah, yes, it's cool. Like, to me, that's weird because Metal Gear is a third-person game, so it's and that will always be a third-person game to me. Like, I need to see Snake. I'm not Snake. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's first person's a perspective that was designed to immerse you and make you feel like you maybe are that character. Or you're seeing through that character's eyes. But I never played Metal Gear and thought I was seeing through anything but watching Snake because I'm not cool enough to be Snake. Yeah. Or whoever, Big Boss or whoever. It's like I'm not
Fat
cool.
Man. You can pull off Fat Man.
I could. I would love to pull off Fat Man, but it's, you know, in other words, this Metal Gear was always a world that I wasn't immersed in as much as I was enjoying watching. And
it's like a movie.
Yeah,
that's one of the reasons I love it so much.
Made, like they even have the credit. I mean, it's always been made to be a movie. And
there's games like that are cinematic experiences. That Uncharted, Last of Us, that I don't want to ever try to be. I'd honestly probably love Call of Duty way more if the story mode was, you know, if the campaign was third person. Because first person does lose me a lot. I have a really hard time connecting with first person games.
Now, something cool to think about here, though, is first person was added to GTA 5.
Right.
So now the mods are going to be able to do first person GTA crazy mods and stuff. So that's going to be pretty interesting.
You going to play it? No, of course not. You're just going to like to see the screenshots and see what's happening.
Yeah, no, I'm happy that, you know, people that's not my scene. I'm not a PC guy at all, but
you are a defender of the Wii U tablet. So yeah, you are not a PC guy.
Exactly. Not at all. Anyways, thank you, coolest dudes.
Hey, thank you, Tim.
Thank you for watching. And thank you for going to iTunes and subscribing to this and watching it on YouTube or going to patreon.com/kindoffunnygames to support this show. Until next time, I'm Tim Gettys. It's Colin Moriarty. It's Greg Miller. That's Portillo. Nick Scarpino's out there. And you're beautiful.